Most home improvement sales, even done today, are done on a one-call close. The most common way of doing that is to create some type of urgency, usually referred to as a today discount. It can have a negative connotation like high pressure and sleazy, but what causes that is because it's done wrong in how it's explained or when it's done in the sales call. It requires a high skill set to do it correctly, and just as important to do it at the right time, and lack of that is what causes all the negativity. When it's done wrong, it does seem sleazy and annoys the customer. When it's done right, they don't complain and buy. I've seen this used with everyone from truck drivers to lawyers to a retired widow with great success and no lack of credibility. In this video, we'll discuss the strategy of why a today discount is still valid in this day and age and how and when to use it, so please listen until the end. Companies use discounts to create urgency all the time. If you think about it, there's really not much difference between if I want to fly to California tomorrow, it'll cost me $900. But if I make the reservation in advance, it could be half the amount. Same plane and same seat. The reason for the price difference is because the airlines are able to manage their assets and time better if the customer buys far out in advance instead of waiting until the last minute. Same thing when you sell home improvements. The sooner you buy, the easier it is for the company to manage your installations and plan more effectively in scheduling the jobs. Also, when they buy the materials in advance and in bulk, it'll get the company better pricing. From a sales point of view, the today discount is credible because in most cases, if there was no urgency, people would not make a purchase the first time you're there. And how much would it cost a company if they had to see every customer twice to make a sale? If the customers aren't upset and you could see everyone once instead of twice, how could you not say you wouldn't want that? The negativity around this comes from people who really aren't salespeople or understand our business. That it's not unusual to pay $150 to generate an appointment, and it can take 5 of those to create a net sale. So yes, it would be very expensive to see everybody twice. The customers who do buy the first night saves the company money, and it's only fair that it's passed on to them. The customer gets a better price, and the company does more business. Everybody wins. People who degrade this type of sales and think the buyers should be kings have no idea how sales like this really works. And I'm sure that I'll get flack on this. The most common complaints on a one-call close are from salespeople that don't know how or are too weak to do it right. Things are put on sale to create urgency, and whether you like it or not, it's the way of the world. What is a sale price anyway? Whether it's a year-end sale, Black Friday sale, or the blue light sales they used to have at Kmart, it's someone somewhere saying if you buy now, you'll get a better deal. Our business has a lot of stigma, starting from the fact that selling home improvements was the original Wild West of sales, where anything goes and you could lie and say anything you wanted to get them to sign on the dotted line, like the old-time aluminum siding salesmen of the 1960s. They had the reputation that we today can associate with the used car salespeople who inhabit the back corners of our cities. Today, people are too smart, and with regulations for in-home sales, like the consumer rights laws, the 3-day rescission period, and the ability to research on the internet has made the customer a lot more savvy. Yet the one-call close with some type of discount when you buy today is still used, and the reason why is that it still works. I won't mention names, but some very credible billion-dollar home improvement companies, huge big box stores, to local window companies all use this to great success and still get great reviews. The problem with the today discount is not that there is one, but how it's done and how it's used. If the customer is properly sold on the product, which means they can see the value and want it, then the today discount, when done correctly, should only be used to create urgency for them to do it now. Not to drop the price so it matches the low value you've built in the sales presentation. Not to put pressure on a customer to make them buy something they don't really want. And when it's done right, it doesn't seem sleazy and manufactured like, well, tell you what, if you buy now, we'll knock another $1,000 off. How's that sound? The best way that a today discount should be used is when the customer is sold and the only thing missing is the urgency. In other words, they say, I want it, I think it's worth it, and I can afford it. Just give me a day and I'll call you back. The worst place to do a today discount is the opposite, when they say, well, I don't know if I actually want this and I want to look around, or it's not worth this much to me. A today discount is the ultimate way of asking someone to buy, and as a professional salesperson, you have no right to ask someone to buy anything unless they want it, think it's worth it, and can afford it. That's why the today discount should be done last, not just delivered with the price along with everything else. You need to sell your product, deliver the price, isolate the objection to the money, then solve the money problem, which is usually affordability, And then when you've solved everything but the urgency, that's when you do the today discount. Unless you've solved the problem, it does seem high pressure, and more importantly, it won't work. Well, Ron, I want to think about it. Well, if you buy now, we can save you ... What is that? The way it works is that it should be more like, well, I want to think about it. No problem. So your only concern is the price then? Yes. And when you say price, it's whether you can afford it? Yes. And so if we do it like this, then is it affordable to you? Yes, that's great. I can afford that. Now do you see how doing it here, how much more impact the today discount will have? Everything is solved, you just need to create urgency. A today discount is not to compensate for weak value building in the sales presentation where you're at $20,000 and they think it's worth $18,000 and your today discount drops them down to the $18,000. They should already think it's worth the $20,000 and the today discount just gets them to do it now. The best way to do a today discount is as a business proposition and explaining to the customer how them buying now saves the company money and that they're just passing it on to you. When it's done right, it makes sense. This is just one piece of the one-call close. The most important part of closing is getting people to actually want what you have first. That's what makes everything work. And if you really want to learn everything about closing and the full A to Z process of selling home improvements the right way, I go deep into all of it inside my full program, The Art of Selling Home Improvements. You can check it out with the link below. Some things that I believe are necessary to sell with a today discount is that it should be honest and credible. It should be an option you offer to everyone and not just used on who you want. Everyone should be able to take advantage of it, and it needs to be real. In other words, they shouldn't be able to get that price if they call you back, or you're lying and it's not good for your soul. The today discount is really for today. Great salespeople sell by telling the truth in the best possible light. Some tips that will help if they object with, well, I feel like you're putting pressure on me. In my experience, the best way to handle this is just to take it away. Well, I don't want you to feel pressured, and if you do, then just don't do it now. Even if you don't save the extra $1,000, it's still a great price and a great value. Then if you hear, but I want that discount, you can start moving in the right direction. Understand that if they're complaining about this, that it's actually a buying sign, because if they didn't want it, they wouldn't be complaining about the today discount. If they weren't planning to buy, they wouldn't care that there was a today discount. When they complain about it, it means that they're interested in doing business with you. You have to hold your ground and not let them off the hook. I've heard it all. Can't you just give me 24 hours? What if I come into your office and you won't have to make a special trip? Usually the way I handle that, and also works well for people who are trying to negotiate me on other things, is to push it back on the company. Look, if it was my company, I'd let you wait a week and then you could call me back and you get the same price. But it's not, and I work for them and I follow the policy. That's why one of the best closes I use is to almost take it away. This close has made me a lot of money when using a today discount and they're right on the edge. Well, can I make a suggestion? Sure, Ron. If you're not sure if this is the bathroom you want or with the company you want to do business with, then I wouldn't care if you were saving $10,000. You shouldn't be doing it. But if you do want this bathroom, and we are the company that you want to do business with, and your only concern is the price, then whether you like it or not, you're never going to get a better combination in value and price with the sale we have going on and this additional discount. But you do it when you want, okay? Then shut up and let the silence pressure them, not you. Don't be weak here. Remember, once you leave, it's over anyway, and when the conversation starts going that way, you're really close. If you like these type of videos and want to know more about selling and closing, check out my video, Using Emotions to Sell, or the whole playlist about closing home improvements listed above. Happy selling!